August 10th, 2020. I will take a motion to approve all of those minutes.
Motion to
moved.
approve.
Second, Hall.
Support, Carabelli.
I've got a motion from Duge, support from Haw. Please vote.
That motion passes 10-0.
Thank you. Next is public participation. Anybody from the public wishing to speak, you have 5 minutes. Please give us your name and address. It can be about anything on the agenda. Anybody from the public? *6 to unmute yourself. Public participation going once. Public participation going twice. And third and final call for public participation. All right, seeing and hearing none, we will move on. There is also another public participation before the end of the meeting if we missed you or you couldn't get yourself off of mute. Next, we will move on to department recommendations.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner
I'd like to
Duge.
make a motion to approve 6A and 6B.
I support that, Sauger.
All right, motion and support for A and B. Lynn, I believe you're here.
Yes, I am. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Lynn. Go ahead.
The purchasing department solicited bids on the Mitten site for the jail door replacement project. 237 vendors were notified, 21 vendors viewed the documents, and 3 sealed bids were received and publicly read by the purchasing department on August 20th, 2020. The scope of this project is a replacement of certain doors in various locations of the jail that have deteriorated to the point that it is becoming difficult to keep them operational. Therefore, it creates a safety and security issue for the jail staff. A post-bid interview was conducted with the low bidder, Burnco Inc., on August 20th, 2020. It was then discovered that Burnco inadvertently did not include the $50,000 contingency that all bidders were to include for unforeseen conditions. Some of the unforeseen conditions that may arise is issues with the wiring or tech issues because these doors are controlled by graphic control panels. I requested a review of the bid by the purchasing department, and it was the purchasing manager's position that an honest mistake or clerical error had occurred, and that adding the $50,000 to the Burnco bid was allowable because all bidders were required to include the same $50,000 contingency, and the $50,000 was not dependent on any other monetary value. The error was quickly raised by the low bidder, and even when you add the $50,000 to the Burnco bid, Burnco is still the low bidder. We are therefore requesting authorization to enter into a contract with Burnco Inc. in the amount of $433,826, which includes that $50,000 contingency. Any portion of the contingency not utilized will be decreased from the contract amount. The jail door replacement project was identified in the capital plan and was scheduled for 2020. Burnco Inc. is also a Macomb County vendor and has successfully performed work for the county in the past.
Thank you, Lynn. I don't see any speakers or have any questions up, but I have a quick question. We discussed—
I have one too, Commissioner.
Okay.
When you're through, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Commissioner Romano. We had discussed jail doors, I think, a few months ago. Is this the same project?
Yes, the first approval was getting the bid documents prepared in order to go out for bids.
Thank you, Lynn. Commissioner Romano?
Thank you, Chair. Lynn, the doors, do we know how many doors we're replacing, first of all? That's my first question.
There's about 27 doors, with the majority being the secure doors, and most of them are in the mental health area.
Okay, these are all metal doors, all,
yeah.
I would imagine iron doors.
Yeah.
do we turn those in for scrap metal? And do we know any idea what we're going to get as far as cost concerned? What we're going to get as far as returning those? Or what do we do with those doors? Do we turn them in for scrap metal? I guess is my next question.
Oftentimes we will turn in scrap metal. I will definitely check the bid documents. The bidder, the low bidder, may turn them in for scrap. I know lately the scrap value has decreased, but I will definitely go back to the bid documents and take a look. But I believe they're the property of the low bidder.
Is that included in the, well, you're going to look at the bid things. Okay, that's all I have. Thanks, Lynn. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Romano. I don't see any other comments or questions. So commissioners, please vote.
That motion passes 10-0.
Thanks, Mike. Next, we have item 6. I believe we can do C and D together. I'll take a motion to approve that to full board.
Motion to approve 6C and D together.
Sauger.
All right, we have a motion from Duje, support from Sauger. Lynn, go ahead.
As you are aware, the high lake levels have created flooding issues directly impacting the Sheriff's Marine Patrol boathouse. In order to proceed towards alleviating these issues, the purchasing department solicited requests for qualifications on the Minton site for professional civil engineering, geotechnical engineering, and architectural design services. The scope of the project is to replace the seawall, construct covered bays, and replace the open docks, in addition to evaluating the current administrative areas, possibly the replacement of these areas. 7 firms responded to the solicitation. Upon review of the qualifications submitted, an interview was conducted with Anderson, Eckstein, and Westrick, also referred to as AEW. Based upon their submission, which is attached, in the interview, we recommend authorization to enter into a contract with Anderson, Eckstein, and Westrick in the amount of $313,350 for the professional civil engineering, geotechnical engineering, and architectural design services. The fee would include $218,750 for the design and construction documents, $4,800 for site assessment, $9,800 for building assessment, and $80,000 for site construction, engineering, and administration. And that's for the total of $313,350. I would also like to add that the governor forwarded correspondence to the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers requesting assistance from the Advanced Measures Program to protect the boathouse from flooding. This award, if it is received, would pertain to the seawall only, and it would be in the amount that's matching funds, with the county being responsible for 25%. And this advanced measures program would pick up 75%. Emergency management is still awaiting a final determination on whether we have been included in the advanced measures program.
Thank you, Lynn. Any questions or comments from commissioners? I'm not seeing any on my list. All right. Seeing and hearing none, commissioners, please vote.
That motion passes 10-0.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Lynn. I'll speak for Commissioner Romano and saying, let's get that grant.
Thank you. Have a nice evening.
Thank you,
Bye.
you too, Lynn. Next up, new business. Any commissioners with new business?
Chair,
Yes.
I'd like to congratulate Ms. Kleinfeld on her anniversary day.
I knew you would. Thank you, Commissioner Romano. Any other commissioners with new business? All right, hearing and seeing none, we will close new business and move on to public participation. Anybody from the public wishing to speak, you have 5 minutes. Anybody from the public wishing to speak? *6 to unmute yourself. Public participation going once. Public participation going twice. Third and final call for public participation.
Motion to adjourn.
Close public participation. We have a motion from adjournment from Commissioner Duje.
Support Haw.
Support from Commissioner Haw. Please vote. And we are adjourned. Have a good afternoon, everyone. See you tomorrow.
Great meeting.
See you
Cheers.
tomorrow, man. That was very efficient.
Record time.
Thanks, Phil. See you later.
Take care, everyone.